Hello, good afternoon. We have some people that are joining us already, so I think we need to start. If you're with us, simply drop a comment and say you are live. I won't waste much of our time, so I'll just start almost immediately so that we can finish up with what we have to talk about today. So I said we're going to be talking about the admission requirements. We're going to be talking about the admission lists. We're going to be talking about supplementary form. All right. Um, if you're with me, okay, I can see one comment already. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please drop a comment if you can hear me. Just say I can hear you so that I will know that I'm communicating with you guys. The light is okay. Okay, so AK Emmanuel says he can hear me, so I assume that every other person can also hear me. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I won't be taking so much of our time. I want to be real quick with this, and I promise that you won't be leaving here without having a lot to actually go home with. All right, so I'm here in my office at Uniport, and I just decided to be in school today because I have a section with you guys. And also remember, I did a video for you guys, the different faculties, and I also have past questions to deliver this evening. So, so we are going to be talking about three things quickly. The first thing we're going to be talking about is the admission requirements. Sorry, I'm going to be looking at my notes while I talk because I actually prepared some things for us to um, look at together. So under the admission requirements, I'm going to be talking about the admission age. All right. I'm going to be talking about the the cutoff mark, and I'm going to be talking about the subject combination. That's for the first thing we're going to be discussing is the admission requirements to get into that particular department that you are aspiring for. So I said we're going to be talking about the admission age, the cutoff mark, and the subject combination that's under admission requirements. Then we're going to be looking at admission lists. So there's nothing to discuss. There's no subtopic under admission list. So we'll just talk about the admission list. And then we'll talk about supplementary form. Supplementary form. All right. So these are some of the concerns I saw that a lot of you wanted to know about. And I decided to make them very simple. All right. So shout out to Alexus, shout out to AK Emmanuel, shout out to Real Black Girl and Elizabeth Dick. So I see you all. Um, Now let's talk about the admission requirements. Admission is not emotional. Admission is not given on the basis of pity. However, admission is given on the basis of merit. So write it down somewhere. Admission is given on the basis of merit. There are three criteria that Uniport uses to give admission. The first criteria that Uniport uses to give admission is what we call merit. In other words, you have to meet up with the cutoff mark. You have to meet up with every other requirement, which I'll be talking about here. So the first is merit. The second is what we call catchment area. Catchment area. Catchment area refers to um, surrounding places or the areas that surround the school. For instance, you find when you come to Uniport here, you're going to find out that there are a lot of people from Imo State in this school. There are a lot of people from Rivers State in this school. There are a lot of people from Akwa Ibom in this school. There is Bayelsa. The reason why you can find a lot of people from these areas is because of catchment area. They are looking at people that are within the reach of, within the place where the school is situated. So that is catchment area. The first one I said is merit. So admission is given based on merit, admission is given based on catchment area, and finally admission is given based on educationally less developed places or areas. Educationally less developed areas. In other words, they also consider people who come from places that we call educationally less privileged places or less developed places, like the North. So if you have a Northerner applying to Uniport, the same hand they used to the same criteria as they used to judge somebody from Port Harcourt or Rivers State will not be the same measures they will apply. They will shorten the measure. They will apply a lot of how do I put it now? Like they will not be too strict. They will not follow the measure strictly when they are applying, when they are checking or assessing somebody from the north, like somewhere like Borno. The reason is because they feel like these people are disadvantaged when it comes to education because of terrorism. They don't go to school so much in those places, and as a result, they need to help them to go to school. And because of that, if they have a little bit of you know a good score, they can admit them to some courses. So let me give you like an instance. In 2017, when I was about to get into school, um, one of my friend got law in University of Maiduguri, and guess her score? Her score was 211. So in University of Maiduguri, people can get law with as low as 200, 211, but that's not the case when it comes to places like Uniport. If you don't have up to 250, you are joking. All right. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that these are the various methods that Uniport uses to give admission. Number one, I said merit. Number two, catchment area. Number three, educationally less developed areas. So merit, if you have the right score and you are one of the highest high performing people, you'll be given the admission. Number two, catchment area. If you fall within the category of the people who are within the area where this school is situated. For instance, it will be very difficult for somebody who is from Chuba or from River State or from the local government where the school is situated to apply and not be given any course at all. The reason is because they also give them consideration that these are the people who own the school or who own the place where the school is situated. So that being said, the highest way or the highest method of admitting students is by merit. So remove catchment area from your mind, remove educationally less developed areas from your mind. The reason is because many Northerners don't even apply to Uniport. They prefer to be in their place, just like we too, we prefer to stay here. They too prefer to be in their own side. So remove educationally less developed area from your mind and also catchment area. Fight for merit. Do you understand? Don't come and put it in your mind and say, okay, I'm from River State. Therefore, if I score very low, they will give me admission. No, don't have that mindset because you may score very low that they may not even accept you. So please remove other criteria from your mind and focus on merit. You are given admission when you merit it. Now, we are now going to look at the competition. What is the level of competition you are facing as a Uniport aspirant? I will give you a bit of what I think you need to know. Now, do you know that especially for people who are going for medicine and surgery, nursing, you are competing with over 2,000 people. Yes, over 2,000 people. And the admission space is no more than 150. So they are looking for 150 people, and you have 2,000 people seeking for that place. So it means it will not be quite easy. It will not be as easy as you think. All right. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm telling you that that is why you need to put very a great effort in your post-UME. It's not this thing I'm saying is not to discourage you. I'm saying it to encourage you in your fight for post-UME so that if you have been relenting before, please do not relent. When I came to the school to write my post-UME in 2017, the crowd I saw, I was like, are you sure I'll be given admission? Because the crowd was too much. It was too much. Do you understand? So out of that crowd, about 200 was selected for political science and all of that. So, but for nursing and all this other department, it's usually 150. Now, within this 150, there are people that will be coming from what we call basic or pre-degree. Some universities call it pre-degree. Uniport call it basic. So we have basic for the science people and certificate for the art people. So now let's say you get into the hall and you score 250 for your post-UME and you had 250 again in your JAM. Somebody from basic also wrote JAM because basic people they also write JAM. So they will write their JAM and they also write the same post-UME you wrote and the same JAM you wrote. There too will write it. However, basic gives them admission separate from JAM. So if their performance is very high in JAM, JAM can give them the admission. If their performance is also very high in basic, basic will also give them the admission. So from basic, medicine and surgery students that come from basic are usually up to 40 because a lot of people who are going for the basic are looking for medicine. So let's say they are up to 40. The reason why they do this basic is because it gives them two options. If JAM doesn't give them, basic will give them. They have like an average for basic, first semester and second semester. If your first semester and second semester average is up to 70, you go for 70 and above, you go for medicine. If it's 69 and 60 something, you go for all those nursing and pharmacy. So if they are able to get 70 and above, basic will give them the admission. And if they also score well in JAM, JAM will give them the admission. Now, I'm showing you your competition. I'm showing you your competition and why you need to be serious. Some of you are still playing. You think it is I'm not saying you will not be admitted, but if you want to get into this particular course that you are aspiring for, then you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Don't use the same approach you use for JAM. I think you should be more serious with your approach now. Now, the next thing we are going to talk about is the age range that Uniport accepts. If you are not up to 16 years as at February next year, if you will not be 16 by February next year, I'm sorry to tell you that Uniport will not accept you. You may be given admission, but you will have to defer your admission. So the age requirement for gaining admission into Uniport is that you are going to be up to 16 years by the time you are doing your clearance. So and usually clearance is usually within February, March. All right. So by February, you should be up to 16 years. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the cutoff mark. Cutoff mark is not out, but cutoff mark is usually from the 3 years period, it has been simultaneously 150. All right, so we are still looking at 150, especially now that the JAM performance is quite poor. So it means anybody that scores up to 150. I'm not saying cutoff mark is 150. I'm saying that if it is 150, it means that people who scored up to 150 can write the post-UME. But if you did not score up to 150, you will not be able to write the post-UME. Also, the school can decide to make it 140 since the performance is very low this year. The school can decide to make it 140. And if they make it 140, well, I think it will accommodate more people. They will check within their database. Sorry, let me close my window. All right, let me close my window because of noise. Okay, so the school will check their database and they will find out how did people who applied for Uniport perform. Let's say they are looking out for 15,000 people to write their post-UME. So they will look at the people who has applied for Uniport. Did a lot of our people score up to 140? Did up to 15,000 people score up to 140? If the answer is yes, they may peg it at 140. You see, if the people who scored 150 are up to the number they want, they will peg it at 150. So it depends on how the people that applied for Uniport performed. And they cannot go below JAMB's cutoff mark. JAMB's cutoff mark, like we know, will be out by 22nd of next month. Yesterday, they wrote the supplementary JAMB exam for people who did not see their result. So, but from next month, I think JAMB will have to have their policy meeting to get the cutoff mark. So let's say JAMB fix their cutoff mark at 140, which is what I'm envisaging. I'm suggesting that that's what it's going to be. If they have their cutoff mark, if JAMB's cutoff mark is 140, then it means that Uniport will now look at JAMB's cutoff mark. They cannot go below JAMB's cutoff mark. They can only choose from that cutoff mark and above. So they can say uh, 140 or 150 or 160 or as the case may be. So if the cutoff mark is out, the next thing you need to do is to now decide on whether or not you meet up with the cutoff mark. So if you meet up with the cutoff mark, you go ahead and purchase the post-UME form. All right. Now there is nothing like departmental cutoff mark in Uniport. The higher you score, the higher your chances. Which is why sometimes I don't like questions like, sir, how many should I score in my post-UME? Score 400. Score 400 over 400. Just do your best. That's what I can tell you. I cannot tell you, okay, score this one. Okay, target this one. No, target 400. If you score 300, fine. If you score 250, fine. If you score 200, fine. But your target should be 400 and above. Or should be 400 rather. There's no above in it. Uniport's cutoff mark is 400. All right. It's 50 questions. One question is 8 marks. So 8 times 50 is 400. All right. So if you lose 1 mark, you have lost 8 marks. If you lose 1 question, you've lost 8 marks, which is why you need to be exact. Just be exact. All right. That's why the past question is very important. Let me get a copy of the past question I have here so that I can show to you guys. You need this past question. If you need it, send me a direct message to my DM on WhatsApp. All right. It's very important that you get the past question. The reason why you need the past question is because it will give you an exact you don't have to start thinking. You find out that okay, these questions, if they repeat the question, you just know the answer. All right, you not just start thinking about the answer so that you don't, it will minimize the error. So here is the past question that I actually, this is the past question I trust. So, and this is one I sell to people who have come to buy from me. So it's a very comprehensive past question, and I think everybody needs to get it. So that being said, let me go back to my um, let me go back to my notes. Now I talked about the cutoff mark. Now something you need to know is that after you've written your post-UME, the next thing to do is to pray. Is to pray because you can't do anything after that point. The school will now decide, okay, From the performance of people in JAM and post-UME, they don't do average in Uniport. There's nothing like my average is 60.5 or 70 point. No, no, no. They don't add and divide. If they do that, they do it internally. They don't tell us. You understand? They don't tell us about that. Now, what they do is that they now start giving admission based on number one, your readiness. What do I mean by readiness? Some of you will not upload your O level until it is late. Because if you don't upload your O level, if you like score 400 over 400 in JAMB and post-UM, you will not be given admission. So your O level is very important. Upload of O level. It has not started. When it starts, I will let you guys know on the group. All right. It's something I've been doing for a lot of aspirants. It's not yet out. But your O level result, please, once it starts, upload it. Some of you will be qualified, but because of little mistakes like this, you will not be given admission. So they start giving admission number one based on readiness. Those of you who have uploaded your O level and who meet the requirements, they will package your names and put inside what we call first list. And that first list is usually on merit. So they will package your name and put in that first list. It doesn't mean people who got first list are going to get anything. No, it only means that the people who are ready at that point and people who jam have said yes to their requirement. The school will package the names of people that they think have met their requirement, send it to JAMB. JAMB will look through the list, check if they met the cutoff mark and everything, and then send it back to the school for the school to release as first list. Once they release your name in the first list, you are automatically a student. Now, admission comes batch by batch. After this batch, another batch will come. After this batch, another batch will come. And it is usually 6 batches or 7 batches, as the case may be. All right. So I think last year was 6 batches. So sometimes it's up to 7 batches. And one batch is like 1,000, 1,500 or more. Do you get? So it's usually much. Do you understand? So if your name is not in the first list, the next thing you need to do is to check if you actually follow the instructions. If you uploaded your O level, some persons will give all these people cyber cafe or all these people money to do and they will not do it. Or you did not check if the person did it. So you have to go and check again and find out if the person did it or not, and then have to upload it, again. So after that, the second list, the school will compile the second list, the school will compile the third list, the school will compile the fourth list, and they will keep releasing it like that. And usually, the higher your score, the more you are in a first or second or third list. Do you understand? So if you have a lower score, it's likely that they will bring you at a later list. All right. Now um let's talk about supplementary form. Now, by the time the school has released the first list, they will release what we call supplementary form. Now, what is supplementary form? Supplementary form is a form that they use to help you, to give you a second chance or a second option. For instance, the school will look at which departments did people not apply for so much, or which department is new that many people don't know about, that people did not really apply for. You understand? So they may now, for instance, if many people apply for computer science, but people did not apply for cyber security like that, or people did not apply for information technology, what the school will do is that they will release that supplementary form and say, if you apply for computer science and you think you may not be able to get computer science, apply for these courses, cyber security or information technology, and you must apply for a course that's related to the one that you applied for initially. So that's why I use computer science, cyber security, and information technology, because they are all in one faculty. So they have the same subject combination. So you have to choose. The school will release a list of departments that did not really have so much applicants, and then they will ask students to apply for supplementary. And supplementary is not usually is usually online. So cyber cafes can help you apply, I help a lot of aspirants apply for last year, and they will give you two options to have first choice in your supplementary and your second choice. So for instance, if you apply for medicine and first list is out, second list is out, your name is not there, you can apply for that supplementary and get maybe microbiology or anatomy. Another thing to know is that supplementary does not stop you from getting your original course. So if you still merit medicine, they will give you medicine. Just that in case you did not merit your medicine, they can now move you to your supplementary course. All right. So that's for supplementary form. And then after the supplementary form, they'll start bringing supplementary lists. So they will start changing people to their supplementary course. That's the course they applied for in their supplementary form. I hope we are getting what I'm saying. Please, if you have any question, you can you can put it on the comment section so that I can answer them while um, so that you will not forget your questions. If you have any question, please type it on the comment section so that I can help you answer. Or if you understand what I'm saying, say I understand what you're talking about. Just put it on the comment section so that I can move ahead. I need to know whether you're following me. Is anybody following me? Do you have any question? Okay. Alex Oji says he understand. All right. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the next thing we're going to be talking about is well, I think it's very important for you to be exposed to many things before you get into school. All right. It's good for you to be exposed to a lot of things before you get into school so that it will open your eyes, so that you will not be scammed, so that you will not be cheated. All right. Now, there are people who will tell you that you should pay them so amount of money and they will help you get admission, but they will not do anything. JAMB will be the one to, or the school will be the one to give you this course. Uniport changes people's courses by themselves. There's what we call transfer approval. If you've written JAMB before, you will know what I'm talking about. There's what we call transfer approval, and that transfer approval is where the school will help you to change to another course they think you are suitable for, and they will give you the option to either accept or reject it. So for instance, if I applied for political science and I check my transfer approval one day, I may find out that the school has issued me or has given me public administration. They will tell me to either accept or decline. So I can accept it or decline it. If I accept it, then I will now be changed to public administration. Now, those are the options that are available, but people do not know that all of these things are available. Uniport is generous with admission. They will likely not want you to leave without any this thing at all. So they will likely offer you a course. All right. So that's for transfer approval. Okay. CAPS link. For those of you who have issues with your email linking, you've lost your email password or you linked a wrong email, you can reach out to me. You can't change your email, but I can help you with a link that will help you to be able to check your email. A link that can be able to help you check your CAPS rather. A link that can be able to help you check your CAPS so that you can know your admission status, to accept your admission and to also track your admission. So you will not be left out, or you don't have to be going to a cyber cafe or a CBT every time. So there's a question, please sir, is microbiology a competitive course in Uniport? Microbiology is competitive, but not as competitive as some courses. So, but it is more competitive than any course in SSLT. Microbiology is under science, faculty of science. It is more competitive than many courses, all the courses in SSLT, if you ask me. It's more competitive than all the courses in SSLT. So in terms of one of the highly competitive courses, microbiology is not really there, but it is more competitive than a lot of other courses. So if I should rate the percentage of competitiveness, I would say microbiology is 30 to 40% competitive, unlike medicine and the rest. So do we have any other question? All right, so let me talk about subject combination. There was this lady I was helping with her admission last year. Her mom came to me. She's from Plateau State. So they came to me and they were like, okay, they heard about me and how I help aspirants, and somebody referred them to me and they're looking for admission into economics. I said, okay, no problem. I will keep giving you information and help you to see how to be on the right path. So she wrote her JAM, she scored 200 and something, which is a good score for economics. And in Posiemi, she also had 200 and something. So she was really good, on a good standing for economics. Um, After a while, I would call her, how far have you checked? She says she has not been given admission. Have you checked? She says she has not been given admission. So one day I had to go to the school's ICT and I contacted somebody. I said, please help me check this person's admission and let me know why she has an issue with admission. Only for me to find out that it was subject combination. So subject combination is very, 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 very important. You cannot be given admission when your subject combination is not right. Anybody that is going to social sciences, let me mention the department in social sciences. Number one, economics. Number two, political science. Number three, sociology. Number four, public administration. Number five, social work. Number six, geography. If you're going to any of these courses, you must have economics in your JAMB and in your WAEC. In your JAMB and in your WAEC. If you don't have it now, please just quietly change, because the problem most times is that you will not be admitted, and if at all they admit you, you are going to face a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. If your subject combination is not right, you will suffer. I want to tell you, I want to be truthful with you, you are going to suffer. The reason is because if your subject combination is wrong, your department will you will have to reject the admission, and you start going from department to department begging them to accept you. And many of these departments will not accept you because they have the right number of people already aspiring for them. So the only departments that can accept you are the low departments, those ones that people reject. So you can see somebody gain admission to political science, for instance, and they will reject him, reject him, reject him, reject him. The only place he will find himself is in adult and non-formal education or human kinetics. All those departments that many people don't go to. So please check your subject combination again. Make sure that you have the right subject combination. Make sure you have the right subject combination. I'm begging you. You cannot be doing science, anything under science. I've dropped the list of faculties and departments in Uniport. I've dropped it in the group. You cannot be doing anything under faculty of science and you don't have what's it called again? What subjects are very important in science now? You don't have chemistry. What are you doing? You must have chemistry. You must have biology if you're doing anything under health. So these are very important things that many people don't know about. Okay, so subject combination is very important. I want to give you the opportunity to list your courses while I tell you the subject combinations that you will need for it. So list your course, drop the name of your course, and I will tell you your subject combination so that you find out whether you have the right subject combination or not. List your course and I'll tell you if you have the right subject combination or not. Law in post-UME. Okay, so the subject combination for law in post-UME, your subject combination in post-UME and JAMB are the same. Subject combination in post-UME and JAMB are the same. So for law, your subject combination should include use of English, that's English language. Your subject combination should include government. Your subject combination should include literature. All right, and then you can add any other social science subject. Okay, so for the law person, like I said, you must have this at least three of them. Then you will choose any other social science course you want to add. I said you must have government, you must have literature, you must have the use of English, and then you choose. You can add commerce or any of them to it. That's any social science course. All right. Okay. So please still comment your courses. Okay, I'm seeing microbiology. Microbiology. Microbiology, you must have biology. Okay, let me start from the most compulsory one. You must have English, that's use of English. You must have biology. You must have chemistry. All right, these three. Then the last one, you need to have either physics or mathematics. But I strongly go with physics. So you need to have English, you need to have English, chemistry, biology, and physics. Very, very, very important. If not, you are risking your chances of getting admission. So there are 5 people currently watching us. So drop your subjects or your department so that I'll tell you the right subject combination. If you don't have the right subject combination, like I said, quietly go and change your subject, your course to change of institution. Now, change of institution is currently ongoing. You can change your institution anytime, but the only time you cannot change your institution is when that institution deadline for post-UME arrives. So for instance, if Uniport releases her post-UME form now, today, they usually give a deadline when the post-UME form will stop, people will stop buying the post-UME form. So let's say they may give like 1 month interval. So from now till that deadline of Uniport post-UME, you can always change to Uniport. But after they've written their post-UME or after the deadline for the post-UME form, you can no longer write, you can no longer change to Uniport again. The same with other schools too. So there's no definite deadline for change of institution. People have been asking me, what's the deadline for change of institution? There is no definite deadline for change of institution. The deadline is the day that institution you want to change to put as a deadline for their post-UME, because if you don't register for their post-UME, there's no need of changing to them. Do you understand? And different schools have different post-UME deadline days. So if you want to change your institution, change it on the before the deadline of their post-UME form. All right. Now, another thing too I want to also talk about is change of course. Change of course is on and will be on till the school finishes her post-UME. I've seen people change course after post-UME, so it will be on even after post-UME. All right. Change of course is different from change of institution. You can change your course after post-UME. All right, you can change your course after post-UME, but once the school starts giving admission, it is very dangerous to start changing your course at that time because I think it's quite late. All right. Then another thing I want to talk about is also choice, your choice of institution. If Uniport is not your first choice of institution, you are wrong. You will never be admitted. Uniport only admits first choice candidates. It is written in their post-UME advert that candidates who chose Uniport as their first choice, all right, as their first choice. So if Uniport is not your first choice, you are not going to be admitted. you are not going to be admitted. All right, so I want to take your questions now. I think we've talked for quite a long time. Thank you for all those who came, who joined us. I want to take questions now in case you have. If you have questions, please drop them. I will answer to your question immediately. I would answer your questions immediately. Drop your questions and I will answer them. If we don't have any question in the next 2 minutes, we'll end the session. I'm waiting for your questions. It's not when you guys will start disturbing my WhatsApp inbox. Please drop your question here now that I can respond to them ASAP. All right, I see that there's no question. All right, thank you guys. Okay. Do Uniport Alexis says, do Uniport add post-UTME and JAM mark together for admission? Okay, I talked about that and I said Uniport has not made any public statement on whether they have departmental cutoff mark or aggregates. There are schools like Uniben, all those Unilorin that will tell you that okay, the aggregate for law is this, the aggregate for medicine is this, the aggregate for nursing is this. But Uniport does not do like that. Uniport does not do like that. Uniport only tells you to write the Aposemi and write your JAM. The rest thing is in their hands. I think what they do is that they grade it based on score and performance. So the higher your performance, the higher your chances of admission. They don't add two of them and divide. No, they don't do that. So you will hardly see any departmental cutoff mark. Anybody that tells you anything about departmental cutoff mark is not saying the truth. There's no departmental cutoff mark in Uniport. But you know that for you to get this particular course, you need to have at least this particular score. But we're not sure to say that this is a particular cutoff mark from the school. All right. So I'm pasting a link now. Those of you who want to come live, who want to speak live, can click the link and come up. There's a link I just pasted now. If you want to come up, maybe you want to say anything or you want to ask your question live, that's via video platform, you can do that. I sent a link now on the comment section. Okay, so thank you everyone. We've spent close to an hour on this session, and I hope you guys learned one or two things from it. We'll continue on our WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Okay, a question is just coming now. Do Uniport add wire grades? Do Uniport add wire grades, post-UTME results, and JAM results when considering students for admission? No, no. They only consider JAM and post-UTME. But WAEC is like the basic thing. It's just the basic thing. Like if you don't have it, you go. It's just the basic minimum requirement. There was a time when they used WAEC, but that was when they did screening. That screening, they did not do post-UTME that year. They didn't do post-UTME that year. So they used WAEC as the screening criteria. So the higher your grade in WAEC, the higher your chances of getting admission. That was in 2020 due to the coronavirus. But since they are writing post-UTME, they will use post-UTME. WAEC is just like the minimum. So you must have at least, you must have C in English. If you don't have C in English, you will not be admitted. If you don't have C in, if you have a D in maths, you will not be admitted, no matter your post-UTME and JAM score. If you have D in English, you will not be admitted at all. Then if you have D in maybe your 5 credits, that is in your 4 subject combination, let's say you're going for microbiology and you have D in physics, it's also not going to work. So you need to have at least C. So it's like the minimum, but they don't add it with post-UTME and JAMB results. You get that? Yeah, I think you've responded. Okay, so that will be all for today, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to believe that all the doubts in your mind has been cleared, your questions has been answered, and you are good to go. So that'll be all from here. Thank you all for participating. Bye.